they did enough in the mainstream media. They did enough throughout big tech with algorithmic promotion of these materials. You can find Twitter porn all day long. They did enough to convince the younger and younger generations that porn was normal, that it was good, that it was acceptable, and that it was permissible if you can make money from it, and that you should get into it. So look at these headlines just from this year, looking at sex workers and how they're affected by coronavirus, how sex work leads to human trafficking, how these numbers are up because of the promotion of role models in sex work. Look at the numbers of, and forget the actual science that proves that porn is bad for the person making it, for the person viewing it, for everyone involved, for those in relationships with those people. You get easily addicted to porn. So forget those sciences. Just look at this one. Most people believe, right here, the opinion of the majority is that it has negative effects. That should tell you everything you need to know. If people deep down believe that it's bad, that should tell you something. In their gut, they know that porn is problematic at best. So this is of note because the left pushes this body acceptance, reversal of slut shaming, because how dare you want to have a civilized society that understands manners and etiquette? No, you should let your friends be absolute whore bags. You should encourage your lefty, liberal-leaning lady friends to hoe themselves, to go out and protest without clothes on, to paint themselves. You saw all of the media attention for the girl that flashed her cooter at the police in, what was it, Seattle or Portland? The lady that sat down and flashed the gash to all of the cops. And then you had the white knight coming in trying to protect, and he was trying to get laid. Everyone on the left is just out to get laid. And so here, this is proof. So the New York Times tells you, jobless, selling nudes online, and still struggling, there are OnlyFans accounts people have created. They've been laid off 3 times. They are now selling themselves online, and how much do they make, do you think, on average? Leave a comment, guess, then come back, and let's move on. But yeah, like this video, put a comment below, let me know first, what do you think people are making on average on OnlyFans? The answer may surprise you. This says Savannah Benavidez stopped working at her job as a medical biller in June to take care of her 2-year-old son after his daycare was shut down. Right, a lot of parents went through that. They had their jobs that they had to leave, that they were there, but they had to leave because their kid was no longer in school or in daycare. When those things get shut down, parents have to stay home if they can't afford it or they can't find childcare. They have to stay home. So she's quit her job to stay home with her child, and so she creates an OnlyFans account, a social media platform where users sell original content to monthly subscribers. So this could be anything. You don't have to sell porn on OnlyFans. It's just that that's what it all boils out to. And started posting photos of herself nude and in lingerie. Miss Benavidez, 23, has made $64,000 since July. It's more than what a lot of people make in a year. $64,000 since July, enough not just to take care of her own bills, but to help family and friends with rent and car payments as well. Can you imagine being her dad, driving around in a truck that is paid for by your daughter selling her body? Well, now who am I kidding? There is no Mr. Benavidez. There's no Mr. Father Benavidez Sr. who's driving around in a truck for this. I don't think he's around. Quote, "It's more money than I've ever made in any job," she said. Well, I believe that. Quote, "I have more money than I know what to do with." It's a good problem. So good for Savannah Benavidez. She made $64,000 in just half a year hoeing online. I'm sure her 2-year-old son doesn't see a problem with that. I'm sure Child Protective Services understands that she's shooting porn in the house or apartment that she lives with her 2-year-old son in, that there's no division there. I'm sure that's great. No worries here so far, because remember, porn is so good for everyone involved. This is another example here. Lexi Eisenberger. I hope they're not using these people's real names and ages, but I have a feeling they are. Was hoping for similar windfall when she started an OnlyFans account in November. Well, that was your first mistake right there, Lexi, because you can't start an OnlyFans account in the winter where you're already pale. You missed the summer. You missed all the good summer pics. This is ridiculous. A restaurant worker in Billings, Montana. Miss Eisenberger, 22, has been laid off 3 times during the pandemic and was so in need of cash. See, this is what's heartbreaking, is that some of these people are, they've been told, they've been shown that this is an option. They've been told it's a good option. They've been dangled in front of them, the Savannah Benavideses of the world, by being told, oh, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars. This is so great. Being a whore solved all my problems. So then you get a girl like Lexi, 22, laid off 3 times, feels that there's no other option, was so in need of cash by October that she drops out of dental hygiene school. After donating plasma, doing odd jobs, still not enough to pay her bills. So, at the suggestion of some friends, that's key. People wouldn't do this on their own. People don't do this on their own. People are doing this because they're being told that it's a good thing to do. And those people are being propagandized to believe that. It is evil. She turned to OnlyFans. She has made $500 so far. I'm sure after this write-up, people will go and give her money, but it is so sad. Well, I mean, not after... So after reading it, they would have. After seeing the picture, maybe not. OnlyFans, founded in 2016, based in Britain, has boomed in popularity during the pandemic. Right, when everyone's stuck at home with nothing to do and they've got their hornies on, they're posting pictures of themselves trying to earn a little bit extra cash. I can understand how that is. I don't know why. I don't know why people would get to that point, except for the Lexis of the world that are being told by their friends, being goaded on and egged on, yeah, why don't you go post your nudes online? We can all buy them. Then her friends can go and buy them. The $500 is probably a pool from all the kids in school that wanted to buy them to tease her. That's sad. As of December, it had more than 90 million users and more than 1 million content creators. So that's one person posting nudes for every 90 people looking at them. And you got to imagine there's a ton of overlap. 120,000 was the number last year. This company has declined to comment for the article. So the article goes on and it says, people are migrating to OnlyFans out of desperation, said Angela Jones, an associate professor of sociology at the State University of New York in Farmingdale. Quote, these are people who are worried about eating. They're worried about keeping the lights on. They're worried about not being evicted. Now, I didn't see a picture of Miss Benavides. I think Lexi, she's not worried about starving. Lexi may be worried about the lights. She may be worried about eviction. I can completely understand and empathize with her there, but it is irresponsible of the associate professor of sociology to just say that these people are worried about eating. Because I saw the still image, and I don't think that was her situation. Quote, it is incredibly saturated market. The idea that people are just going to open up an OnlyFans account and start raking in dough is really misguided. As you saw from Lexi, right? Lexi opens an account after 3. That's a ton of times to be like your heart's broken because you get laid off once, and I mean it's devastating. You find a new job and you think, oh my gosh, thank God, say my prayers, I found a new job. Then you get laid off, and by some miracle you find another job, and then you get laid off again, and by that point you're probably mad. You're probably insane. So she is told by her friends, she's egged and goaded on, why don't you go and post your nudes? You can sell your nudes online. She makes $500. To think that you're going to jump online and post images and immediately start making thousands of dollars and immediately have the cash flow to cover bills is insane. But that is what social media influencers tell people. Find any social media influencer that has 1 million followers or more, and there will be a video about the day in the life of them where they wake up and they'll tell you about all the money they have and all the nice things they can do and all the freedom they have because they don't really work. They're given things to advertise, they're given things to model, and then they influence you. They tell you, go do porn. So when you do, you make $500, but all your nudes are out and you're forever exploited. This says so many creators have joined the platform out of dire financial need. They do not have large social media followings or any way to drum up consistent business. So, people in their 30s, people in their 40s, people trying to just pay rent. Okay? This is what porn does. This is from The Guardian. It's a little old. It's from Friday. A porn site tricked and degraded women, and that was exactly its point. Which one, you ask? Name one. Name one, because that's what they all do. They all trick women, degrade women and men. They degrade everyone involved for profit. Some people don't have a problem with that. Some people think that that's fine. It's your freedom, it's your choice, it's your right to choose to be degraded. But when you degrade yourself and you degrade other people and they are unknowing and unaware of the fact that that is what they're participating in, and that it is our media and our society pushing people into that, when our science tells better, when we in our gut know better that it's bad, that's a problem. I think it's important to highlight. So this particular story says girls do porn. That's the site that they're targeting. It should be Pornhub. It should be any of the other sites that are big, and I don't know them, but there's a X Hamster. You can think of any of the other sites that are popularly discussed and talked about in social media, in radio, in television, joked about, and they're done. All of that is done to keep it familiar, to keep it normalized in society so that people will seek them out. This is from Girls Do Porn. They were defrauding unsuspecting women, a court found, but a successful $13 million lawsuit won't fix the culture of contempt, it says. So just to be clear, 22 women coming forward to sue a website because it defrauded them. They said, well, it never told me I was doing porn. So when I did the porn, I was not aware I was doing the porn when I did the porn. We are at a point in society where we're not just seeing the porn company get sued for attempting to lure someone into a situation, or for misrepresenting themselves or defrauding themselves, or assault. Nope, you're seeing them sued because the women did the porn, and on not knowing the contract they sign, are in trouble now, socially themselves. It's like it's a guy that drives drunk and then sues the police because he lost his job after being arrested. In the ads, the women were clothed. Appearing in an innocuous site like Craigslist, they advertised the modeling opportunities. This is from Girls Do Porn. They advertised these opportunities that paid about $5,000. There's no indication that nudity or sex would be involved. If you're finding a Craigslist ad for models paying $5,000 and you are not aware that there's going to be that is a sex trade ad, then you shouldn't be on the internet. The internet's not a place, with bumpers. It's not got guardrails for idiots. And this is why you have some idiots out there. One ad asked for, quote, beautiful college type pretty girls, unquote. Again, there's your sign. For photo and video shoots, when women responded, they were directed to websites that showed no evidence of porn. They were asked for contact info and photographs of pages that showed more pictures of clothed women. One woman flew to San Diego to pursue what she thought was a modeling opportunity. When she arrived, she found herself in a hotel room with two men who told her that they're going to be shooting a porno. Can you imagine? You show up in San Diego, you're like, all right, I'm finally going to break from it, a model. Everyone thought I was so pretty, and all my friends were right. Now I'm going to be a model. It's going to be so exciting. And you get to your hotel room, and you put your key card in, and the doors are always so loud and heavy, and it swings open, and then there's like a bunch of light rigs and 2 camera tripods and one guy with a handy cam, and he's like, hey, I'm Chad. Can you imagine? You leave. You walk out. You don't go, well, I don't want to just, I don't want to get those frequent flyer miles for nothing. Come on. This is not someone who has been grifted. This is someone who was tricked into travel. Go home and go in peace, right? This is a tactic used by the producers of this website, according to California Superior Court judge's finding in a lawsuit brought by the 22 women. They entrapped and defrauded women into making pornography. Alone in hotel rooms with strange men, they were asked to sign contracts written in dense legalese, but they were discouraged from reading them. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, but signing a contract under duress means that the contract is invalid. If you sign it under duress, you can mark it such. If you don't understand the contract, but you sign it anyways, that is what people say is a fatal flaw. That's a life lesson learned. Don't do that. Well, it was a lot of dense legalese. It was a lot of language, legal law language that I didn't understand. So I just signed it. And now you're suing out of your own ignorance. I understand the court says these women were entrapped and defrauded, and I have total empathy for a girl who is like Lexi, saying, I'm out. I'm out 3 times of a job. I'm out. I desperately need money, and I'm doing this online. It's only gotten me $500. These people are offering me $5,000. Maybe that takes care of her problems. Maybe that holds her over for 2 months. She gets $5,000 if she does this. Now she's already done the plane. She's done this. She's in the hotel room. The cameras are all there. She's got a contract to sign. She'll get $5,000. I can understand the pressure. That is defrauding. That is entrapment. But there's more blame there than just on this company. I understand it's predatory too. I understand it's predatory. Yes. That does not mean that you should open yourself up with your soft belly exposed to the world all the time. And then when you are attacked by a predator, you're, surprised and shocked and hurt. And you said the world should be nerfed. It's not. So fortunately, the court is going to fine for these women $13 million split between 22 of them. A little more than the $5,000 that they were originally promised. The women were asked to sign contracts. They were discouraged from reading them, we said. They were told that the contracts stated that the images would never be put online and that they would never be distributed in the United States. They also didn't tell you were doing porn. So if they're now telling you, don't worry, we're not going to sell them online, and we're certainly not going to put it in the U.S. We're not going to put it online in the U.S., which are the two, probably I would imagine, 2 of the biggest markets for this kind of content. No, we're not going to sell to the people that will buy it. We're going to pay you with nothing. This was a lie. In fact, the videos were posted on that site, as well as other subscription sites and free sites. Their identities were easily findable. Oh no. Many of these women faced humiliation, ostracism within their own communities. I'd imagine their families and friends too, because again, go and do your OnlyFans accounts, but if you shoot porn, now you're evil. Now you're cast out. Don't come to church. They say when they sued the producers, the men made sure that the videos were sent to people they knew. This was a retaliation tactic, reminiscent of revenge porn. So they took the videos. As soon as these guys got sued, they sent copies to all of these people's friends and family. Some of the women became suicidal. That's awful. According to the proposed statement of decision, which will become final if there are no objections within 15 days, the 22 women will be awarded $13 million, and each will receive compensation ranging from $300,000 to $550,000. But the damage is done. Yeah, $500,000. I mean, again, how many years does that hold you? If you can't work again in a normal job, now you're tainted with this sex work blemish, this mark, this scarlet letter of having done porn or having posted on OnlyFans. And this is why I make this point. Because if you are jobless, if you are struggling, if you're Lexi Eichenberger, don't expect to be Savannah Belvidias or whatever with $64,000 in 6 months. Don't expect to be that girl. Expect to be the one who is a real model getting actually paid by the New York Times to have her photo shown next to this god-awful story. Don't expect to be. You're not going to be paid well to exploit yourself. And that's the end-all be-all, right? This is what this is. It's commercialization of the individual self-exploitation. Again, it used to be that you would, and not used to be, but 30 years ago, you could find a headline about, scary that the prostitution numbers are up, that we've seen a small percentage increase in the, numbers of of prostitution and the sex trade that we're seeing on the streets. And it was, widely condemned and thought of as a bad thing. Flash forward to now. Flash forward to Clown World. The New York Times is saying it's sad. We're putting out these promotional sad stories about how, gosh, these women are struggling because they're not making enough on OnlyFans. Hint, hint, you better go help them out. This is not a promotion, but it is. You see how they're doing that? I wanted to point it out. Porn is bad. Don't do porn. Like this video, comment below, let me know what you think. Subscribe, turn the notification bell on. We're on Parler when it's back on. We're on Gab now, for sure. Odyssey is working to bring and port all of the videos over from YouTube, which I'm still on. Also on BitChute, did I say that one? And Rumble. So check all of that stuff out. And then do everything else that you can do to keep America afloat.